What are the most common construction incidents? Can you name a few which you may have heard of or saw in the news? Let's move into a more specific category of incidents. Construction incidents. Within this category, there are some types of incidents that occur more commonly than others. Here's a list of the most common types of construction incidents. The first type is falls. These include falls from height. For instance, one could fall from scaffolding, roofs, ladders, or higher floors. Alternatively, a fall could also be caused by a careless slip and trip. The second type is a collapse or failure of structure and equipment. In this case, it is hardly ever the fault of the victim or anyone else, but rather, it is an unfortunate mishap due to the weak foundation of buildings or structures. There are also crane-related incidents which mostly revolve around the collapse of a crane. Being struck by a moving object is a very common incident too. Workers on site could be struck by a forklift, prime movers, moving vehicles, such as trucks, lorries and buses, or even excavators. This type of incident involves an individual being caught in or between objects. For example, he or she could accidentally be sandwiched between two blocks of concrete. Workers can also be struck by objects falling from a height. Fires and explosions tend to break out easily on construction sites if special care is not taken to prevent them. Regardless of whether anyone gets injured due to the fire or explosion, it is still counted as a serious construction incident. Moreover, workers can also be electrocuted. If the intensity of the shock is high, medical attention may well be required immediately. On construction sites, it is not uncommon to see lots of confined spaces. A worker remaining in a confined space for too long may face the possibility of oxygen deficiency. Lastly, there are other types of incidents that fall within this category too. These include cases of drowning, the caving in of excavation, or the collapsing of formwork. Now, we move into the area of dangerous occurrences. As defined in the WSH Act, a dangerous occurrence is a serious workplace incident which does not involve the death or injury of any person at work. This may not sound deadly, but facing these situations result in serious repercussions. There are altogether 6 types of dangerous occurrences. Let's look at them individually. The bursting of a revolving vessel, wheel and grindstone, or grinding wheel moved by mechanical power. 2. The collapse or failure of a crane, derrick, winch, hoist, or piling frame. Essentially, this category includes any appliance used in raising or lowering persons, goods, or any load a machine is carrying. Collapse also refers to the overturning of a crane. Take note that this type of occurrence does not include the breakage of either a chain or rope sling. 3. Electrical short circuit. This type of incident also encompasses the failure of electrical machinery, plant, or apparatus, with a failure generally causing an explosion or fire. In other cases, there is often some structural damage resulting in stoppage or disuse for 5 hours or more. 4. Explosions or fires. These incidents are especially serious when they affect any room in which persons are at work. It causes complete suspension of ordinary work for more than 24 hours. 5. The failure or collapse of formwork or its supports. 6. The collapse of scaffolding. This could be a partial or whole collapse, but the scaffolding should exceed 15 meters in height. In the case of a suspended or hanging scaffolding, the criteria is that any person may fall more than 2 meters from it. Occupational diseases is the term generally used to refer to work-related illnesses. To better identify these diseases, pay attention to the following traits of occupational diseases. These diseases are first and foremost a chronic ailment, meaning that they are long-lasting and they occur as a result of work or occupational activity. Very often, these illnesses are related to exposures to physical, chemical, or psychological hazards. Furthermore, they usually develop over a period of time. It is unlike common illnesses such as a fever or a flu that hits you in just a couple of days. By comparison, occupational injuries are the immediate result of mechanical factors. By mechanical factors, we refer to actions such as lifting or bending. Alternatively, it could be a result of failures when meeting with safety measures, which in turn can result in accidents or fires. The examples of occupational diseases cover a wide range. Cancer is one of them. This illness is usually a result of the inhalation of asbestos fibers. It goes without saying that this is a very serious and life-threatening illness. Workers could also suffer from asthma due to their sensitization to chemicals in the workplace. Anthrax is another type of occupational disease. Lead, cyanide, and hydrogen sulfide poisoning are fatal occupational diseases that should be avoided at all costs. Special measures should be implemented to ensure that the possibility of these diseases is minimized. Conditions within the workplace can also result in occupational skin diseases. These are usually not deadly, but affect the victim physically and emotionally to a large extent. Another example is silicosis, which is a form of occupational lung disease caused by inhalation of crystalline silica dust. Many workers within noisy construction sites suffer from noise-induced deafness as well. This reduces their quality of life on a daily basis. The last example is repetitive strain disorder, usually within the upper limbs. This condition is caused by repetitive overuse of a body part, which induces pain in the muscles, nerves, and tendons. I wonder how many workplace fatalities are there in the year? Why don't you make a guess? To give you a better perspective, take a look at this table. It gives you the statistics of the number of workplace fatalities listed by industry that have occurred in the years 2014 and 2015. A total of 60 and 66 fatalities in 2014 and 2015 respectively cannot be considered a small number. Here's an infographic table showing statistics that prove what these injuries are. You may download the PDF for a list of common industrial diseases requiring notification to Singapore's Ministry of Manpower. Let's see if we can remember what we have learned.